Good morning, my darlings, and happy Monday. Blessed new week. In fact, on that note, I pray that wherever you are in the world today, that you're feeling loved and blessed and safe and seen. Oh, I hope you're having a beautiful Monday too. I hope the new week ahead is looking bright for you. We had storms last night, like big storms, thunder, lightning. Lots of rain. It was actually kind of cool because I know Florida is usually known for those kinds of storms, but honestly, the last couple of years, I feel like we haven't been having them as often. But everything out here on the patio today is very drippy now. It's very wet. It's very drippy. We're gonna get more storms later tonight. I heard actually yesterday, the day before, that it looks like we're going into an El Nino, and it's funny because El Nino here will suppress or can suppress the hurricanes, but will make next fall and winter very stormy like this. Whereas in California, which is where I grew up, and of course learned about the whole El Nino, La Nina patterns, and we dreaded El Ninos. So I'm a little concerned for California because those were the seasons that we got so much rain, lots of mudslides. So anyway, I actually have a lot to tell you about. I missed last week because there's just been so much going on. And there is kind of an announcement going into this week and the end of this week. So let me just kind of gather all my thoughts here for a second. I'm at that shift point that I have felt coming for a little while now. And we've got the new moon coming up on Wednesday. And then, of course, we've got the equinox, which happens to also be the astrological new year, which I personally hold very dear. And Mercury comes out of retrograde also on Friday. And that puts all the planets moving forward until I think it's May 6th. So we're going to have a lot of forward energy. And that suits me because I got plans. I got plans, In fact, everything yesterday came to such a culmination point that I had my first not clean carnivore meal in weeks, and I had my first thing to drink that wasn't water in almost 2 months. And I don't feel terrible today, but I'm a little congested, a little puffy. But it was interesting because I was so excited with all the pieces being put in place for this next phase of my life that I just wanted to celebrate. And when you celebrate, you want to celebrate with food. And I know that a lot of carnivores don't. They stick very strict carnivore. And I might become that someday, but I'm still pretty new to all of this. And that's what my heart was calling for, and I just went with it because I knew it wasn't for me. I knew where I was. It wasn't going to be some downhill spiral. I feel remorseful enough to not do it again. It's so funny. Actually, the thing that got me was the lemonade. I drank a bunch of lemonade yesterday, and the sugar in that is, I think, what has me the most. I feel like I've always been kind of a good girl. I'm not a person that's gone out drinking. I've never been drunk. I've been tipsy a couple of times, so I've never been like full on drunk. And so I kind of was like, oh, this must be in the vein of that, because I couldn't stop drinking it. It was fun drinking it. I was enjoying drinking it. And today I feel a little like, oh, even last night I was a little like, oh, that was a lot of sugar on a body that hadn't had sugar in about a month. So that was interesting. But anyway, I really am at that set point because my weight started going up last week, even though I hadn't changed anything. It was going up like 0.1 every day. I'm just like, yeah, the set point is real. So, y'all, new phase starts on a Friday, although I'm going to do a warm-up on Thursday, but starts on Friday. And I'm going to double down. I'm going to double down on my clean carnivore, which I actually ended up loving. I'm going to do something called priming, though. I'm going to, for a few weeks, maybe a few months, I'm going to eat 3 small meals a day instead of doing OMAD. I think I might have mentioned that in the other video. I already have them planned out. It's just going to be the same thing. Going to be super boring. but that's good because the rest of my life's going to be a little busy. So keeping my food very simple and very stable, I think that's going to be a good thing for me. So I'm looking forward to it. I really am. I'm noticing the blue sky starting to appear. The clouds are starting to break up. I love being out here in the morning. I love watching the sunrise. It's not something I've ever done before in my life because I've always considered myself a night owl. And now I'm getting up at it's the carnivore thing. I get really good sleep, but I don't sleep for long periods of time. I used to sleep 8 to 10 hours a night. Now I'm 6 and 7 hours a night. So I'm getting up super early and I'm getting to see the sunrise, and it's been magical. I've really enjoyed it. And I know I keep putting this off. It's going to allow me to move into this next phase. I have what I'm just kind of calling for myself because I like to name things. It's a 100-day sprint. It's going to start on the equinox on March 20th, the day before my Florida anniversary. And it is going to end on June 27th. That's 100 days. June 27th this year is my Jupiter return. And I've been looking forward to this for a few years now. And I knew it was coming in tandem with my Saturn return. So I've been really working on myself and the things that these planets represent in my personal chart over the last, I don't know, 4 or 5 years to really be ready, because I knew that Saturn return was just going to be a doozy. And then this Jupiter return should just be a blessing. I'm expecting the skies to open up and rain down the blessings. And I'm gonna be there for it. I'm gonna be ready for it, and I'm gonna enjoy it, and I'm looking so forward to it. So for 100 days, I'm going to Disney. I'm going to Disney every day for 100 days, and I'm gonna blow it out on Friday. Amy and I have already talked about it. We're gonna attempt to do all 4 parks on Friday. It's gonna set the bar for me to see exactly where my work needs to be. And I am, of course, going to film it. There will start to be daily videos on this channel starting sometime this weekend. It just depends on the editing flow. But there'll be, 100 videos too, which I didn't get to with the conversations, although still having the conversations, but I'm going to move this format, this conversation format, I'm going to move into the Ohana. And because I'm breathing life back into the Ohana. Now, for anybody here new that doesn't know what the Ohana is, the Ohana is sacred to me, okay? You got to go all the way back to 2016, 2017 when I did the 365 to honor my friend Donna who passed away, which I believe I've talked about on this channel. So I won't go too deep into that story, but for 365 days, I went to Disney every single day to honor my friends who passed, and to just remind myself that it's so important to live in the moment. It doesn't matter how much money you have. It doesn't matter what kind of stuff is going on in your life. You need to live. You need to be in the moment. You need to live each day. And that's what that really did for me. And it's a lesson that I've never forgotten, and that I hold very dear to my heart. But over the course of that time, a couple of my boutique publishers, the ones that had the most of my books, they all went out of business. Amazon was starting to kill them. And I ended up without income. So a friend of mine, Kim, very dear friend of mine, she saw in one of the Facebook groups that, what are they now? Streaming the Magic, I think. They were streaming Disney, I think, at the time. But anyway, they were looking for people to stream, and they were paying $15 an hour. And I was like, you know what? I'm here every day anyway. I can do that. And that will, keep the roof over my head for a little while longer. And that's as far as I thought about it. I was like, because I was committed to this 365, I couldn't take a long time to go shop new publishers and, write and go through edits and all of that. It was going to be a conflict, and I decided to stick with my commitment of the 365. So this live streaming fit in. I didn't think anything of it. I didn't realize how many people I would meet and how many connections I would form. And so I started a Patreon. I think I was the first person at Disney World to have one, which was interesting because a lot of people said a lot of unkind things to me for shilling and the likes. But I needed to keep the roof over my head, and I needed to keep my commitment to myself and to Donna. So that's what I did. This is not long story short, is it? But anyway, so we created the Ohana. It was a group of people who did come to Patreon and were willing to pay, the $1, the $5, whatever it was. Some people actually paid quite a bit because they just knew the dire straits I was in. And these people, they were the world to me. It was such an eye-opening experience, such a time in my life, for the first time possibly in my entire life, where I met people who actually cared about me. And I'm not saying that to be melodramatic. I had spent most of my life up to that point with very shallow, not ne'er-do-well, but like fair weather friends, and never really finding people who loved me and cared about me. And so the Ohana was the backbone of everything I did back then. Oh, we had such fun. We had Patron Appreciation Day every month, where myself and another friend of mine who is no longer in my life, we were doing it together. He was helping me, and we would go and do all 4 parks and stream them all on one day. And people would pop in and out of the streams all day long. Streaming was different back then. I would stream for like an hour. Nowadays they've got their big rigs and they stream 12-hour days. That is not for me. But back then it was stressful. Live streaming has always been stressful for me because I really don't want to interrupt anybody's park time, and it's hard to pay attention to the camera and walk and pay attention to the people. For me, it was a little difficult, and I always felt uncomfortable, but it was worth it because of the relationships that I was forming, because of what the Ohana was giving me, and what I think and I hope what I was giving to the Ohana. And so anyway, but the problem was I'd already had all these visions and all this stuff for my guides. I knew what was coming in 2020, but I also thought I am insane, and so I couldn't really say anything. So I just felt like I had walls up, and I was keeping secrets the entire time. Okay, with this shift being over, you all, and I don't know that anybody can understand this, but the weight that I have carried the last decade, and I don't mean physical weight, I mean the emotional weight of knowing the shift was coming, not really knowing, but knowing, starting with plague, ending with war. I mean, that's a lot to carry, and not really be able to do anything with it, to help anyone, to save anyone, to do anything. It was a lot. So after the 365 ended, I knew the shift was bearing down on us, so I pulled away from everything, and haven't really done a whole lot with my online anything since. Little bits here and there. I would try this or try that because I missed it. But I should have known better, because until the shift was over, there was going to be no place for it. The shift is over. I can breathe. I no longer am carrying that weight. There are no secrets, because I've told everybody, well, this is what I knew. There are no secrets. There are no walls. And so I want to breathe life back into the Ohana. I want to pull us back together again. And I think one of the things that I'm really excited to see happen with the Ohana is the Ohana original version. Those people took care of me. They took care of me. They nurtured my soul. They made sure I ate. They kept the lights on and the roof over my head. And this version of the Ohana, I'm going to take care of them. It's going to be a place where I can create to love, to give, to be there for, to me be the one nurturing. I'm grateful. It's just grateful. I'm just grateful. I'm so grateful. There's a beautiful, what looks like seagull flying overhead, which we don't get very often, but sometimes the storms bring them in off the coast. Now, the Ohana, some of you still watch these videos. You all are grandfathered in. Do not pay me a dime. You all gave me everything in 2016, 2017. I mean, I'm telling you, I wasn't even eating some days because I didn't have any money. And then I'd get messages after the stream and people would be like, do you need lunch? And they would PayPal me, $20 or whatever. These people, they mean the world to me. They mean the world to me. And though I am going to open the Ohana back up, and I do have financial plans with the Ohana to give and to allow myself to receive and to do the energetic exchange, not any of the original Ohana. You all are in the group already. You will stay in the group. And that's all there is to it. Rhonda, if you would like to be in the group, message me on Facebook or else put it in the comments here. I will add you, okay? Because you've been here for months now, and I feel like you are a good fit of the Ohana. I feel like you should be there. So you can join the grandfathers. I mean, really, the point is in 2016, 2017, I was not stable in my life, not in my mental faculties, although, but no, my life just wasn't stable. I hadn't been here that long yet. I was living in a motel and was really just trying to get by day to day. And I was at the beginning of my healing journey. I hadn't learned hardly anything about spirituality the way I know it now. I was still very much in more of a Christian, smaller box, if you will. And I had nothing to give. Not really. I could show up every day with a camera. That's all I had. And I gave that. But the me that I am now, I have so much more that I can give and that I want to give. And that I pray the Ohana will let me give. Sometimes I just feel like the flighty girl with all the dreams and all the ideas. But I think over the last 5 years or so, I think I've become the woman that knows how to focus and enact discipline to actually get the things that I want. And I've learned how to narrow stuff down and let go of things like, oh, that's a great idea and I would love to do that, but I can't pull that off. And I know that. So let's put a pin in it, or let's set it to the side, or let's give the idea to someone else. And I think that this new phase I'm stepping into is sort of a test my wings sort of a phase, because I've changed a lot through the shift. I've changed a lot. Well, since obviously the last 10 years, since the last 365. So I think this is going to be really interesting for me anyway, to kind of take the new me, Samantha 2.0 or whatever, out for a test run and see what I'm really capable of now. This version of me has never been seen before. Has never been test driven before. I think I'm even going to surprise myself at what I'm actually capable of as this version of myself. That's exciting though, right? It's exciting. But I do have to keep reminding myself because, of course, fears and how stuff in your head works. It's like I keep getting reminded of all my failures, of all the times I've tried things and I couldn't make it work. And I don't know what's going to happen when I step out here on Friday, but it's going to be different. It's going to be different than anything I've ever done before. That's exciting. That's just flat out exciting. My word for this year was curiosity, and it's still curiosity, because I'm just really going through life going, well, how would I feel if I did this? Well, how would it feel if I did that? What would this feel like? What would that experience be like? And that's a good word for me. But the other aspect of this year for me is homecoming. I'm going home to Disney. I'm going home to the Ohana. I'm coming home to myself. I'm coming home to my body. I am becoming me. That may not make any sense. But I'm coming home. aside from that, daily videos on this channel of my 100 days out at Disney. And that will continue to with the weight loss journey, although I will be making separate videos on that. I am just going to do a playlist. It's just Disney. It's not going to be a vlog exactly. It's mostly just going to be come with me, you know. Come with me and let's breathe again. Let's see what's out at the parks again. This is a coming home. The channel will get a slight rebrand, a different header. A couple of different playlists are coming to the channel. But for the most part, it's just content is going to change. The patio chats are going to go into the Ohana, so you won't see these. But there will be Disney videos and continued check-ins on Carnivore. That's what I'm thinking right now. And yeah, it all starts at the end of the week. So I really am. I'm excited. I'm ready for it. I still have a lot to do this week. Today needs to be super clean. I'm bouncing back and forth about whether I want to just do a fast. But I'm craving a steak. So I think my body needs some actually good nourishment today. So I think I've got a really nice big chuck eye steak in the fridge. So I think I'm going to have that for breakfast. And I've got to do some work on my hard drive. My external hard drives, I gotta rein in. I've got Disney files everywhere, and I want to pull all the B-roll together so that if I need a clip of something, I can find it, because right now everything's a little bit messy. I have a really good friend helping me with all the logistics of this 100 days, making sure, you know, looking at all my work and my figures and making sure that I'm not missing anything, because I'm not doing this. I want to do this to be in better health at the end of this, not in worse health, you know? So, yeah, lots of walking. I'm starting jump training. So whole good thoughts for me on that one. I'm very, very light jump training. That's the thing. I'm not stupid. I do know that where I'm at physically, and I need to do, you know, a ramp. And so I am doing that. I cannot go from 0 to 100 miles an hour, and I know this about myself. So I'm building this little ramp to get myself to where I want to be. That was the whole point. Birthday year, right? At the end of the birthday year, I wanted to have my money moved out of writing into more like YouTube. So I still have hopes of getting the channel monetized at some point. And we're gonna light up Patreon. I am really actually excited about that. I haven't created the new Patreon yet. I'm gonna do it with the new moon actually on Wednesday. Wednesday is gonna be a pretty sacred day. I'm gonna set all the things in motion, I think, on Wednesday, all the paperwork on Wednesday after the new moon, and then really step out on Friday after the equinox, or at the equinox. But I have a lot of little pieces going into place, and like the Ohana is my main thing. I really want to pull this together beautifully, you know. I'm gonna do extended videos in there. I'm gonna record some stuff that's just for the Ohana, so they'll get an extended version of the video. It's gonna go up first over there the night before it comes up here, because most of the videos here will come up in the morning. If you're in the Ohana, you'll see them, you know, that night, same night as I get home. And no ads, obviously, in the Ohana. And I think I'm going to try to finally pull together the newsletter. I've tried that. That's something else I've tried off and on for years, and I've never quite handled it, but I love the idea of a newsletter. So I'm thinking like a monthly newsletter, which kind of gives you maybe the schedule and the idea of where we're going and what we're doing. I'm going to add, after the 100 days, I'm going to add something called like a Beyond the Bubble segment, where I share stuff like Old Town or Epic or SeaWorld or the farmer's market. Oh, I am going to start doing my celebration life vlogs, or my life in celebration. Oh, but I like celebration life. Maybe I'll call it that. That's kind of cute, huh? Celebration life. I like that. Although it sounds a little bit like a church too. But anyway, that's going to be in Patreon as well, or in the Ohana as well, is a little video every week. Just life here in celebration, here at the house, downtown, the farmer's market, all that good stuff. I have a lot of plans, and I'm really excited about them. I'm going to pull them together slowly over the next 100 days, and by June 27th, everything should be up and running fully. And then we'll see where we go from there, right? Still wanting to do the 365 starting on my birthday. So that'll give me a few months to continue doing some training. I think at that point I'm going to start doing some resistance training. If I don't start sooner, I'll definitely be back in the pool by then. I mean, I'm feeling, as I'm talking about it, I'm like, dang, this is a lot, but I'm going to be good. My guides are so good to me. They have made me spend the last 9 months very still. I have been doing a very conscious nervous system reset, which I think is really important for all of us since the shift has ended. And I realize that most people don't understand there was a shift or that the shift ended, but it has, everything is different energetically, things are different. And resetting our nervous system is really powerful. And I've spent the last 9 months doing that. I've spent the last 9 months exhaling. And these new videos at the parks have that in mind, because I realize that most people don't know there was a shift, don't know that it's over, don't know that they need to exhale. But I can create videos that make you want to exhale regardless. And that's important. That matters. So I'm going to structure these in such a way that they're very beautiful. They're very relaxed. They're very slow, peaceful videos inside the parks, and at Disney Springs and at some of the resorts. Whatever makes me feel like I can breathe, I'm going to bring to you, and hope that it does the same for you, because we are going into the light, y'all. We are, and it's beautiful times are ahead, and I just want to do something, play some part in that. So that's what I'm doing. I think that's all I've got for today, to be honest with you. I just kind of wanted to sit with you guys and share that with you, and say thank you. There's only 50 subscribers on this channel, but I thank you to every single one of you, especially if you stayed this far into the video. I just want to thank you. The last 9 months here in Celebration have been such a transition phase for me, for my life. And it's been like, okay, slow the car all the way down and then shift gears. And now we're headed to let's move forward. Starting Friday, it's let's move forward. Let's move forward. Can't wait to see where it takes us. I'm sending you all so much love and so much gratitude. These videos, these patio chats are moving into the Ohana. So if you're interested in that, leave me a comment and we'll figure that out. But that's only until Friday, because after that I'm going to have the Patreon up and running, and it's going to be via Patreon only at that point. Patreon can grow slow, it can grow fast. I'm not too worried about that. But what I loved about Patreon before, it was a bit of a gatekeeper, which allowed us in the Ohana to connect deeper, because it was like a sentinel, because people don't pay $10 a month to get in a group and cause trouble. You know what I mean? And there's a lot of that out there. So I think creating this sacred space for everyone, it's so on my heart to do, and that's how I see it. So I'm excited about that moving forward. So this is my last patio chat, most likely for everyone. I might do them occasionally, but most likely this is the last one going out to all of you all. And I thank you all for being here, and I'm sending you love. And I pray that this week is just beautiful and blessed, and that the new moon and the equinox brings you so many blessings. Oh, God bless each and every one of you deeply in your lives. I'm sending you love. I will see you again towards the end of the week in a different format, at a different location, and I look forward to it.